Hello, and welcome to another 15 minutes of tangling. So yesterday we started this Crescent Moon here, and we'll be continuing with Crescent Moon today. Hopefully we'll be able to wrap it up in this session. We'll see. So I had left off putting in these little perfs, and I'll continue go ahead and do that right here. I'm in a brand new location today. My voice might sound a little funny because I'm trying to find locations that have a roof. It looks like it may start raining. It's looking a little ominous. So I wanted to try to find a space that had a covered table. So I have found this space. We'll see how it goes. The table is bright orange, so are the chairs, and they're made out of plastic. It's not my favorite. I much prefer natural materials, but in a pinch when it's raining, this might do. All depends also on how busy this area gets. I'm right near a road that's pretty busy, so we'll see if it gets to be too noisy or if it's okay. Alright, we've got our perfs in. Now I would like to add some vertical lines in these gap spaces here, and just really as close together as I can make them, but not getting too worried about it, to be honest. There we go. Just a little bit of hatching sort of shades this space a little as if it were a background. So yesterday I got a comment from someone saying, well, they didn't know that Strathmore sold tan-colored mixed media paper, and I mentioned to her that I also use the black mixed media paper, and she had mentioned gray, and I never thought to even look for the gray, so I looked for it, and they do have the same exact paper in gray, so I'm pretty sure that's going to be my next art purchase once I'm done with these projects. I was really excited to see that. I definitely want to try the Zentangle gray tiles at one point. Again, to see, is the texture different? How do they perform differently from mixed media paper? But it'll be neat to have both of them. Alright, I'm going to leave this space here because I'm not quite sure how I want this pattern to connect to whatever patterns I put beside it. So if I leave that right here, it can make whatever pattern we put here look as if it connects in right there. So I will leave that space. Alright. So to make this pattern have a bit more contrast, I'm going to take my white Jelly Roll pen, and in these embellishments here, I'm going to put down some white. And you'll see they really stand out. I tested this on a different piece of paper a few days ago and found that when you're shading with graphite or with Copic, it does go right on top of the white really nicely and still shades. So I'm excited about that. It's graduation weekend here in Charlottesville, so all the UVA undergrads who are wrapping up their 4th year are celebrating this weekend, which is both exciting and noisy. And I'm seeing, you know, despite the fact that the university couldn't hold end of the year exercises as they normally would, these undergrads are finding plenty of ways to celebrate otherwise. Maybe I shouldn't complain so much. Maybe it's just the ones that I live near. I'm sure not all of them are as noisy as the ones I live near. And I am moving in July, so I don't have to complain for too much longer. Okay. But I guess that's part of what comes when you live in a college town. Charlottesville it's beautiful. I absolutely love it here. And for a relatively small town, there's a lot here to do and experience. So I'm not complaining that I don't like Charlottesville. I like a quiet neighborhood. I think that's why that's one of the reasons why I make an effort to get out into green spaces every day, into more peaceful, quiet spaces. I'm glad I found this table under the awning because it has begun to sprinkle just gently and I can hear it, but it is not getting on me or my paper, which is exciting. If it gets heavier, I might pause, and the table's light so it can be moved a little further under the roof here. We'll see what happens. I really like the contrast that is created by putting down this white jelly roll. If you decide to do this project, and you're using your jelly roll, and you find that it's hard to stay within those little embellished spaces, don't worry, because you can go back in with your black Pigma Micron later and clean it up a little. Alright, I'm going to add in my shading. So just laying down some graphite and over the white as well. I'll probably do graphite while I'm drawing this project, and I'll still add in some white charcoal highlights as well, but at the very end, the last step will likely be me touching up any shading or highlighting so that it's nice and fresh, because as I draw, my hand will rub up against all of this shading and highlighting and rub it off towards the end, or at least dull it down a little bit. So I'll shade as I draw, but I'll probably also do another round of shading towards the end of the project. Just sort of the finishing touches. All right. I love how many birds are out here. I'm not sure if you can hear them chirping, but they're quite active. It's nice to hear. I'm right near, in between a few different apartment complexes. And I know some people put out feeders, but there are plenty of beautiful trees. This area is it's just lovely. Lots of green. Lots of people with beautiful gardens, bird feeders, native plants. Yeah, it's getting a little breezy. kind of feels nice. It's, I believe they were saying in the lower 80s today. So a little warm and a little bit of rain. Not too much though, it seems. Alright, there's my shading. I'm interested to see how the white charcoal works with this. So I'm going to just gently and really lightly put in some white charcoal. Not too much. I can always layer in more if I want. It's such a busy pattern, I don't want to obscure it too much. So just a little bit of shine, I think. Let's see what happens. And that's not bad. I quite like it. Just a little bit of shine, but it doesn't take away from the pattern. That's nice. Okay. I think I want to add, as my last little bit on this pattern, just some little itty-bitty details. So I think I'm going to add a white dot to each one of these perfs, as if there was a little shine on it. Just again, the little white dots, I'm sort of draw the eye in a little bit. Add a little bit of contrast, a little bit of interest. Tonight, one of my friends who lives in St. Louis and I are going to cook together via Zoom. We're going to make a really easy stir-fry recipe. So I'm excited to talk to her. I'm excited to make a nice recipe. It's kind of something I don't think we would have done had we not had this experience of staying at home so much. But we've gotten creative. That looks quite nice. I like it. Alright, so that is an embellished crescent moon. And I'm thinking what I want to do with this space right here to connect our Renaissance fragment and our crescent moon. I think I'm going to draw one more Renaissance fragment here and then put maybe some flux over there. And then I'll add in some flux. Maybe have a few coming from over here. Alright, well that is our 15 minutes of tangling for today. Thank you so much for joining me, and we'll continue on with this project tomorrow. I'm not quite sure. We'll finish up this right here, but other than that, I'm not quite sure what pattern we're going to pick yet. I'll spend some time thinking about it tomorrow and looking through the Madame Renaissance book to get some inspiration. I hope you have a lovely rest of your day, and I hope to see you again tomorrow. Bye-bye.